Welcome to Formosa Dream Chasers.
We're your hosts, Mary Ann
and Ching En.
Please join us as we explore the journeys amazing people take in pursuit of their dreams.
And get insights from their experiences.
Let's hit the road.
And get started.
Hello, and welcome back to Formosa Dream Chasers with me, your host, Mary Ann Choco. In this final part of our conversation with Michelle Capistrano, we bring everything together, from finally receiving a diagnosis to navigating hormone therapy and learning how to manage symptoms in a way that works for her body. But beyond the treatment itself, this conversation goes deeper as she shares what this journey has taught her about advocating for herself, finding the right support, and redefining what it means to really age well. Let's dive right in.
My doctor diagnosed me as perimenopause, and then she gave me some type of hormone therapy. And it took a while for me to adjust to the right dose because it's different for every woman. So when you experience some like bleeding or some type of spotting, that means your body is just getting used to the therapy. And then at some point, you will find your sweet spot, like the perfect combination of progesterone and estradiol, topical estradiol that you need to take so that the symptoms actually are managed well and they actually go away. But they don't go away like 100% of the time. I still experience some hot flashes, maybe 2% every month of the time.
You were saying that, it was important for you to put out this information for women as a whole and also to highlight the Asian perspective. I was wondering, why did you mention this specifically?
Because there's not enough representation online for women like us, for Asian women specifically. Because when I search for information, like really try to do research to help myself and like figure out a way so I can, live my life with better quality. Because right now women are living longer, we didn't used to live this long. The question is, would you like to live long but your quality of life is not very good? Like you live with osteoporosis, like you're very scared of just moving because your bones are gonna break anytime. I don't want to live like that. I want to be able to tie my shoes by the time I'm 70 on my own. I want to be able to take a shower, which I take for granted right now, but I don't want to be dependent on anybody by the time I reach a certain age, because really don't want to be a burden to my family or to any loved one I'm with when I'm old. So I want to be an active elderly when I get old. So how are you going to do this if you don't have the information to prepare for it? Because you really have to invest on your health as early as now. And because of the difference in symptoms that Western and Asian women experience, right? Then how can you provide a proper solution? The only way you can provide a solution is like knowing what the problem is and addressing the problem in the right way based on what the problem is in the first place. So how would you disseminate that information properly? So I just figured that an online platform where I can talk to women like us would be a good way to start. And hopefully when I start something, other women would follow, and there would just be like a chain reaction somehow, and maybe remove any type of stigma that we women, Asian women specifically, experience when we share our story about how we went through menopause, because that's what I experience right now. I receive a lot of comments from other women who don't experience what I experience that are not very positive. So I just want to have a voice for women who are not the majority, because women like me who experience perimenopause symptoms really badly, we just take up like 30% of the entire female population. Since we're not the majority, we don't really get heard a lot. So I hope that by creating a channel dedicated to this type of audience, someone would listen and someone would feel heard, someone would feel safe to be part of a community where they can really share their experience and not feel dismissed, alone, rejected, ignored by other women who should be like supportive. Yeah, it's just difficult when you're going through a difficult phase and nobody seems to be aware that you're going through it, because you don't feel safe talking about these things with other women. especially women who are not suffering the way you are.
Right.
So I think women, the 30%, they need to be heard.
One of the things you did mention was how, as you were sharing the difficulties that you went through with other women in your group, in your friend
Yeah,
group,
in my friend group, yes.
right? You felt unsupported and that they didn't
Yeah.
understand you.
I felt like they were questioning my capability of making the right decision to go into hormone therapy.
Right. So
Yeah.
what I wanted to highlight was sometimes sharing personal experiences and reflections can make us vulnerable, but
Yes.
you took the idea of sharing your experience to the public because you're now on an online platform. So it's
Mm.
not just a friend group anymore, but you're opening this up to a huge audience.
Mm-hmm.
Did you struggle with this idea?
I am aware that I am opening myself to a bigger audience, but whoever wants to listen to the channel and who are continuing to listen to the channel are my target audience. So I'm not really trying to cater to every woman. My target is very niche. And if I just get like a few subscribers for doing this, then I think I did a good job because I'm not really targeting the whole world. There are a lot of YouTubers who have very few subscribers, but they are loyal subscribers. I think that's more important because you understand your niche very well. So understanding the niche is more important for me than having a lot of subscribers and a lot of views. Yeah.
We've touched on this actually a little bit, but I'm now curious about specific numbers. When you started dealing with all of your symptoms, all of these challenges that had to do with the lack of knowledge that it was actually because you were dealing with perimenopause, and then that you were not given the proper solution to address this, how long did you have to deal with this, with all of these health challenges?
Because I was very aggressive in trying to find a solution for myself, right? So it took me about 3 years.
3 years before
And
you.
I was already aggressive. So could you imagine if a woman would take their sweet time to find a solution for the
That's
problem?
what I'm trying to point
Oh,
at. No, no, that's what
yes.
I'm driving at. My point is, it took you 3 years to look and find the solution, but like the duration of when you were actually experiencing all of these
Uh,
symptoms, how long were you, quote
about
unquote,
5 years before I was properly diagnosed with perimenopause.
okay?
Because the first time I experienced symptoms of it was when I was 40, which was 8 years ago.
Okay, right. I
Yeah.
remember. Now I remember you talking about all the things you went through earlier, and like how no one, not one single doctor, was able to really look at this problem from afar. I think they
Yeah.
were,
Or
because
at least,
they were too
mm,
focused on the specifics, right?
yeah,
And then so they weren't able to properly
like,
diagnose you
yes.
for the problems, right?
Yeah. And this is the reason why when you approach healthcare, because the medical system right now is designed to keep you alive, okay? But it is not optimized to teach you how to stay healthy. So that's
Mhm.
why when you
I see.
want to stay healthy, the approach should be holistic.
Right.
Because the doctors right now are trained to address symptoms that are organ specified, organ,
Yeah.
okay? But the thing that happens to the human body is more of a holistic thing. What is happening in your leg may be related to your hip. What
Mhm.
is happening to your knee may be related to your spine, things like that. But they will address the issue on the knee or on the leg. But they
Right.
should actually address the issue on the hip or on the spine because that is the cause,
Right.
right? But
Yeah.
that's not how the medical system is designed
Women.
now. But hopefully, moving forward, doctors would realize this because even when I was in the hospital, my doctors who are a cardiologist, he does not talk to my OB-GYN. My
Oh,
OB-GYN does not talk to my hematologist.
right.
My OB-GYN does not talk to my ENT. I have to be talking to all of them so that they would understand what I'm going through. And hopefully, I pray to God, they will, come up with a proper diagnosis.
Right.
Yeah, so that is the reason why, education really plays a huge part in supporting the medical system that we have right now. And it's also the reason why I'm studying a course right now on being a health coach. So I'm focusing on a course right now that is talking about holistic medicine, that is specializing in hormonal health.
So you're now starting this new journey in a way. You're taking a
Yeah, I'm
different
still in the middle of it. Yeah.
yes.
I don't think
So
it's gonna stop. I think I will still be on this journey until the end of life, because this is the last phase, I think, for women.
so you're now starting a new adventure, so to speak. You're bringing a lot of good things that aim to help other people, not just
Yes.
with your online platform that you're starting on YouTube, but also once you've finished your training for being a health coach. That said, you could say that you're redefining yourself and you're also starting something new.
New chapter.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
for anyone who is looking to start again or redefine themselves, especially after 40, which is such a defining age, I think, especially when it comes to how society views age,
Yeah.
especially for women. I think
Mm-hmm.
when you're in your 40s, there's always this kind of judgment that comes with it when you want to start something new. So, given that you are yourself doing something at this age, what would you like to share to people who are also wanting to start something but perhaps aren't as driven as you or are still hesitating? How would you encourage them to just go ahead and do it?
Well, first of all, you have to reframe what aging means for you. If aging means that you can use all the wisdom that you have learned in your entire life to find your real purpose for the rest of your life, I think that should really make you think about what you want to do for the rest of your life. And if serving people is your main objective, and I think it's a good way to find purpose that way, you really have to find something that you really like doing to serve other people, because doing something you like and something that really adds value to other people makes you feel more alive. So it's really a win-win. So if you look at the rest of your life this way to find your purpose, I think it's hard to go wrong. I feel like. Yeah, because you're helping others, but at the same time, in that journey, you're also helping yourself. So there's no loser in the end, you know?
Right.
And hopefully during that journey, you would meet women or people who can empathize, who can um, like find value in it and probably share this value to others. And by doing that, then in some small way, we make the place where we call Earth a better place. I mean, life is really hard. So if you find your calling and you help people along the way, I think and by doing so you make this world a better place. I think it's a good way to go. Yeah.
Speaking of, advice, you've given advice to women who are wanting to, or just not women, people who are wanting to redefine themselves in whatever journey they are, in whatever stage they are in their journey of life. The next question I have is in relation to our discussion on hormonal health. For women that are in their 30s, specifically at that age before or right at the cusp of perimenopause, what are some of the things that you really want them to know that you wish you knew before all of this happened to you?
I will just say something that a doctor that I admire very much said: "Women are not small men."
Okay.
That's a sentence she coined, because the way we go about life is like we try to copy what men do when it comes to, like our health protocols, for example. I think women we have to take care of our health in a different way that is more geared towards women. Like, what would be a good example? Like when we exercise, a lot of women like to do cardio and cardio only. So what cardio does is that it makes the cardiovascular system really good, like really healthy. But it also does not build muscle. I don't know, because for women, the gyms that were designed, the layout of the gyms right now are like designed in a way that are like, oh, cardio area is for women, and then the weights are all for men. But I really try to tell women, even in their 30s, that they try to really focus on building strength and muscle, and try not to look at the scale when they assess their health. I would rather they get a DEXA scan or a smart scale where they really see their body composition. I think that's really the important thing there that they really have to focus on in their 30s. And then nurture their relationships. Try to find their purpose in life as early as they can, so they can really they really address their health in a holistic way.
Okay. Is there anything specific regarding hormones that you want them to know?
Oh, this is a very interesting fact. We have more estrogen than men, obviously, right? But if you will actually total testosterone hormones in our body as a woman, we actually have more testosterone versus estrogen, total testosterone. But we still the amount of testosterone we have is still less than men.
Okay.
That's a surprising fact for me about hormones. So that also means that testosterone is also important. When I found out about that fact that we actually have more total testosterone compared to our total estrogen in the body, I was actually pretty shocked.
Okay. And
Yeah.
why is this important?
Because testosterone is sort of demonized when we talk about testosterone, like for women. Like women should feel like they shouldn't have testosterone at all, when it's actually very important for drive, especially for like achieving something, and our sex drive also, if you want to maintain a healthy sex drive.
I see.
So yeah, so it really plays a part, and energy levels play testosterone plays a huge part in maintaining our energy levels as a woman, especially during our perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopausal years. If your testosterone levels are very low, you find yourself having no energy at all, no drive. You can talk to your doctor about it also if you really want to look into testosterone as part of your hormone therapy in this stage of life.
I understand.
So yeah, and this is also something that's not being talked about in
Right.
our culture.
Okay. So, can you also like introduce where people can find you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So my channel handle is at Hormone Harmony After 40.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, with that, thank you, Michelle, for your time, for sharing and being
Yeah.
vulnerable, I think, more than
Yeah.
anything.
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate this invitation.
This is Ching and Cho.
And Mary Ann Shaka.
See you guys next week. Bye.